Alright, hello YouTube and welcome again to some random RPG Maker stuff. I still have not decided the name for this thing, and I figured like I'd play through it again and record it this time. It's about 80 minutes long at the moment, and I tried to make it, make actual content instead of just running around and fighting endless mobs and whatnot. But yeah, who am I to decide for myself? Like, we'll see what happens. Hopefully the volume is not too high. I still did not change this picture. I know it has a couple of typos and missing words and whatnot, but yeah, it's supposed to hold here, and it's not stretched out fully since I changed the resolution. There is also one map that isn't stretched out to fit on the new screen resolution, but it's a map that you're never going to get back to, so whatever, I guess. For now, at least. I try to not use, or more or less, like avoid all the already made maps. The ones that come with MV. I did use I think I used 2.5 of them, you could say. It was one for the item shop and one for the inn because, yeah, I figured, what the hell, who cares? I'll redo them one day, but yeah, I suck at mapping and this is like the first time I do stuff like this. So maybe if I find someone that can map or can help me or something like that, or I can suffer through it personally, and yeah, it'll be mediocre anyway. Still, my focus was, like I said, to actually make it that you can do stuff. Some of it might be questionable, but yeah, it's bound to happen, I suppose. And another thing is, you could say, like, swearing. I don't like it personally, but it exists in reality, so I figured if it exists in a real world, then it exists in a game as well. Moderate, of course. In this case, it's only Nicholas that swears up to this point. And yeah, basically that's it. I'm trying to keep the characters realistic as well. I mean, yeah, they are humans from Earth. And if you're wondering why the hell is her hair pink, then you'll know in a few minutes. So yeah, something like that. I also had the thing here with the face sets. These ones don't change because I did not think through. I had to change the hair gradient so I can get that color of brown for Nicholas. And I forgot to do the faces for this, well yeah, for his clothes in this case, before changing it back. So I figured, whatever, it's just the intro sequence and then it will change. I'll fix it in the future, of course, but it's not immediate. I would make a lot more progress on this thing if I actually had the maps, but yeah, it just feels so uninspiring when I have to sit myself and think of something that I'm going to deliberately suck at. Of course, I'm still gonna try, but yeah, I'd rather keep it later. I did not work with RPG Maker before. I mean, I had a brief time with RPG Maker VX Ace, I think. A friend gave it to me, but I did not go far. Mostly because it was front view. I like front view games, like the old Dragon Warrior Monsters and stuff. That's one of my favorite games. But I don't think like I could make something like that, you could say, in the more or less. So yeah, I tried to get the basics down, like how I want the battle system, how I want the story to unfold, and the story itself. It starts pretty basic, and I'm trying to make it seem interesting. So far, it's nothing like unexpected. Problems happening on Earth, and then you get summoned somewhere to basically fix these problems, or whatever you want to call it. I did not press preemptively. That part is just supposed to... You're supposed to jump over that part. And here you get the choice of 3 weapons. Each weapon has its own statistics, but I'll go with the spear, because swords are overrated and axes are too common. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Yeah, I'm actually trying this floating thing. It's I added newly. It's annoying that when they attack they still float, and when they die they teleport down there. It's pretty annoying. I'm gonna see if I can do something about it, and then either keep it but shorten the distance of the floating, or just remove it until I find a solution for it, because it looks really stupid, if I have to say so myself. Yeah, as far as plugins go, I'm trying to not overdo it, because yeah, it's not, oh look, a cool plugin, I must have it. I use stuff that I actually need. So I have the majority of the plugins I have are Yanflies. That programmer is a genius. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl though. I think it's a girl, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? A programmer is a programmer. But yeah, other than that, I have. I actually don't know what I have. Plugins that are worthy of talking about right now, or I mean impactful in that way. But either way, here we have you talk with this Ignis Fallace, in case you can't pronounce that. And not that I'm not exactly sure I'm pronouncing it right as well. Myself, I mean. I never studied Latin or anything. It's just little tidbits here and there from studying French and yeah, other stuff. But to cut it short, Severa becomes a warrior, and I'm trying to actually make it that the warrior does not use mana and does not use TP either. I'm trying to make it that it uses rage. I'm having the trouble with that. And yeah, maybe someone would make a plugin that you can customize a resource yourself. But I figure, oh, since she's gonna be tanking, might as well like have rage. Yeah, this is one of the maps that is too small for now, and it's very terrible. This was the first one I did. Well, disregarding the room, I guess. And yeah, it's just a placeholder, for better or worse. And Nicholas is our cleric or priest or whatever. I don't know. It's cleric in this game at the very least, so that's good for something, I suppose. Since it's gonna be hard early game, I figured, hey, might as well start with the healing. Technically, so far, it's impossible to die as long as Severa is alive. And not because she deals the damage, more like, you know, she has this, she will take damage for low health allies, so yeah. Although at the same time, clerics, at least in my own opinion, are not squishy. Like, you know, it's not the squishy white mage from Final Fantasy that has piss poor health and is basically useless outside of casting Cure, Cura, Curaga, and then later, oh yeah, and the Libra machine. Oh look, I'll just Libra this boss and Later on you get more useful spells, yes, and then in the late game you'll get holy, and that's something. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of white mages from Final Fantasy, although you can't really play a Final Fantasy game without them. The world map is also very bland and uninspiring. It's actually the hardest thing for me. I can't really do anything with it for now. And I also forget to put music in some of the maps, so it's more like the song from the last segment will continue playing, which is okay for now, I suppose. Mostly because I changed the music through the events, you know, the cutscenes and stuff, so the music carries on, which is a good thing. It's better than not having music. The face sets themselves are extremely annoying. I'm trying to like make some of them myself in Photoshop, but I'm pretty terrible with it, so guess I'll just look with one of my artist friends if they're willing to help or something. Because what's the point of having 6 faces? Or more like, yeah, 5 for Severa and 6 for Nicholas. And I added this information thing to, you know, so you can actually know what the hell you're gonna do. And I have the NPCs change what they say depending on what you did. So like if you advance in the story, which is not very much at the moment, they will say something. So I'll talk to them and like show what they say now and what they say later. And I'm trying to make it so like so you can interact with many things, like logical things. You have 2 people from Earth in another planet or dimension, so it's logical that they would comment on stuff. And this is the logical thing, you know, like Pokemon is the worst defender in my opinion. It's like, oh look, I'm gonna go into this house, steal everything and then just go out. And everything includes Pokemon, like I remember in Pokemon Blue, Blue, Red, Yellow and stuff. The fourth gym, the grass gym. If you go from behind the apartment, you'll find an Eevee on the top floor. And okay, so just go here and steal a rare Pokemon just because the owner is not there. That does not make sense. I can't think and do stuff simultaneously. Yeah, and this doesn't rhyme either because I'm a bad poet. Or actually, I think I found this one searching Google and I was like, whatever, I'll just put it in here until I think of something creative. But yeah, basically you can click anything you want and well, not in a large scale, at least in the first down, because I sort of ran out of ideas. I'm gonna add more NPCs to run around because it doesn't make sense to have like 4 people going around. Yeah, you'll find some memes since these 2 are supposed to be a couple of nerds, or well, Nicholas is supposed to anyway. Something like that. Like in the title, well not title, in the introductory picture, you'll find typos everywhere. My keyboard is very clunky and sometimes it doesn't press the button for some reason, I don't even know. Yeah, this is supposed to like be a secret. I mean, I can imagine Not many would just go and check graves. Unless like you're familiar with RPGs and check everything, I don't know. But you'll get rewarded for it. Whether facepalm because of how tacky it is or actual in-game stuff. So yeah, this is supposed to be a quest, you could say. I call them errands because whatever. And yeah. Oh yeah, and here we have like the menu. It's pretty simple. Item, skill. Change that to skills if I remember to. Yeah, profession instead of jobs because I think that's overrated. Whenever I figure out how to change this icon, I'll do it. And here we have like you can upgrade your stats. But here's the catch. Every time you upgrade something, the next time you try to upgrade it, it's gonna cost 20% more. So 500 now, next time it's gonna cost 600 and so on. So yeah, so you can like spam how it works. Should have checked the well before filling it with water because he would have said something different. But yeah, I'm tired. It's 5:40 here, and yeah. So we take the water for the grumpy ghost, and yeah, Nicholas expresses his hatred for Severa. And you get this fanfare, and yeah. So basically this quest doesn't show you what you get, but you get XP enough to level up, and yeah, they learned their first skill. I figured I'd give them a skill at level 1, but it's not logical. Like, you just became a warrior and a cleric respectively, so how the hell would you know what the hell you're supposed to do? It's more logical to, you know, require experience. Yeah, and here, like, as an added side effect, you know, you talk with NPCs, you get some useful information, and yeah, poison. That's fun, right? And another jab at Nicholas would be, yeah, I don't know. Not gonna say anything there until later. So yeah, you get 5 antidotes, which saves you a lot of money actually. And then we talk to her again. She'll just say the same thing. I mean, yeah, not the same thing, but sorta. We check this grave. I put this one here because I don't think anyone would just start with that one unless they're completely random. So I suppose that would make some sense. Well, in regards to what they would be saying. Oh yeah, I need to change this. I always forget to do it. It's irritating. The picture, I mean. Yeah, and this is the second thing that actually swears in this game. I don't think the anger balloon fits the situation here. But yeah, whatever. It could be angry and still be nice, I suppose. Oh, the ghost is supposed to disappear before. Oh yeah, if you try to talk the grave again, this one is with the grumpy ghost quest thing. You just say that, and this is with the lady ghost thing. Don't even think about it. And this is the last grave. I'm not sure how many people would get that, but I don't feel like changing it. It's like whatever, not important. This is the third thing he says. But yeah, it's like gradually something. You know. This thing is sort of like an inside joke. Like I just made her there and put some horses because, you know, to make some sense in this small village thing. Like, you know, like they have cattle or whatever. And then I done this. And afterwards, when I was doing some other events, my friend came in and he had like the weirdest idea. I'll show you. This is actually another quest, a legitimate one this time, you could say. You know, like no angry ghost or whatever. Although it's the classic fetch quest. And it gives you like a little background on, well, in this case, on how they make mana. Or I call it essence in this game because mana is just over abused and used. Yeah, this is supposed to make sense, like I said, because she's not supposed to have mana, so I'll keep it like that. Unless I think if I can't figure anything out on how to make this rage resource, I'll just go with TP. I mean, can't get worse than that. And yeah, here you can like refuse or accept. There is no reason to refuse because it does not have a deadline or anything. And then if you talk to her again, she'll tell you where you can find them easily. You can still find them other places, but yeah, they have high encounter rate for the slimes in the forest to the south. Yeah, I forgot to equip my stuff myself. But before that, let's go to this house. Yeah, she's gonna say it's still locked. I mean this one. And this one is where it gets weird. For now, it's not supposed to be like this always, but like I said, he came in and saw, you know, about the horse thing, and then he was like, why not do it like this? And I figured, sure, why not? Nicholas making logic again. Yeah, they're talking about antidotes in case for the items themselves, I try to come up with like interesting text for them, like how the hell do they make this? Simple, but yeah, concocted using various medicinal herbs, easy to make and quite efficient. I need to fix that. Make and blah blah blah. Found in caves, can cure almost all forms of poison. Tastes even worse than poison itself, however. The spacing is sort of annoying because I started using the word wrapping thing, so the old stuff just come in lines like that. But yeah, I'll fix it. And then they have this. Like reasonable stuff to check, or I don't know if it's reasonable, I don't know. You go to someone else's house and see crates with carrots, I suppose you would wonder about it. And then we have this thing here. And the memes, man, the horrible memes. Yeah, this was so hard to animate in the game. I found this nice plugin which allows you to go animate your followers, so I don't have to make events for small. You know, I don't have to make a cutscene for small things like this, and that's the best thing I got out of it, so I'll live with it for now. But yeah, like I said, it gets weird sometimes, or at least this is the only time it gets weird. So yeah, she gets scarred for life, I suppose. And let's see. Yeah, I made this profile. I used a different plugin, but Yanfly has released his profile addition, so just paste everything. So it's sort of spoilerific right now. So just ignore it for now. And we have here, yeah, I put icons for most of the important things, especially the elements. And don't worry, there are a lot more states than this, but I did not add them to this list yet. And the attributes and stuff. So I have like she's neutral to everything, and Nicholas is obviously resistant to light and very weak to darkness. But yeah, enough about this. Now we can actually go on with the plot, you could say. Basically, whenever you see that green door, it means yeah, you're moving forward. Now, these two characters are not trying to be meta, you know, like it's just trying to state the obviously reasonable, you could say. I mean, yeah, everybody's seen the Matrix thing before, except me. I never actually saw the movie. I remember when I was young, the movie was like published, and you know they had these publicities everywhere and stuff. But yeah, I had no reason to watch it. Same thing for Men in Black. I never watched that thing either, and it was very popular when I was young, at least where I lived anyway. So yeah, it's still pretty simple, nothing happens here. And I'm trying to make it like more reasonable, like, oh look, this entity is actually trying to help us. Although they don't trust her themselves. And here, I'm not sure if it's very obvious, but he's translating what her name means, because he's the language student and has actually studied Latin for like 4 years. That means he's actually based on on a real life friend of mine. It's the same character, like same person. Now this is a save zone, and the game will tell you so. So you can actually save using it. But the thing is, you won't be able to save from the menu. I'm just having it here because, you know, beta testing or whatever you want to call it. There are more people to talk to. More like, well, not character development, more like character establishment. Or establishing, sorry about that. Yeah, we have here, well, most of these weapons won't apply. Oh, okay, not most, but more like the toy bow and the gun. Because the original idea was that the clerics would be able to use a toy, I mean a bow, not a toy. The gun is just there because, I'm going to remove it. But yeah, here you have 2 options for Nicholas and 2 options for Severa. And the game has random variants for weapons, courtesy of Yanfly. Which means like you can get a higher stat weapon or a shield or whatever, or you can get a lower stat if you're terrible like. The shop screen is actually very annoying because it doesn't show the stats. So in this case I'm gonna buy this thing for Nicholas, and I'll explain why. Unlike most mainstream things, I suppose, Nicholas does not scale with damn it, I forgot to remove the mouse from the screen. Sorry about that. Nicholas does not scale with like magic attack or something. He scales with magic resistance. So it's, of course, he still has spells that scales with magic attack, but it depends. So yeah, I made an orb, you know, like crystal orb thing for him to use. Then we can buy some armor here. Yeah, I have terrible luck with those rolls. Ooh, this one is nice. Yeah, sort of need more money. But yeah, all the items as well have descriptions on them, trying to make it you know, interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna have to fix Nicholas. This one is better. He only has one ring slot instead of two. I sort of forget to do that as well. And here, like the description for the weapons, it's nothing special. I mean, they are starter weapons, you could say. For me, it's like either it's silly and sort of, or at least trying to be funny, or you know, it tells you something interesting, like how it's made or whatever, depending on what kind of weapon it is. Anyway, let's move along. This is one of the generic maps which I'm using, and the weapon shop itself is the same thing. I just did some minor alterations, that's all. But yeah, I'm hoping to change them in the future, or if I find someone that can help me. Now here I'm like I'm expecting people to do the quest, or at least do something, like, you know, like level up. So I'm gonna like go and take and try to do it. And of course we get rats. And here we have Nicholas' first spell. I'm trying to make, unlike Final Fantasy where you get like cure, I'm trying to make a spell that is useful for the entire game. So in this case, Nicholas' heal here, it scales off the target's magic resistance and a percentage of their maximum health. Now here I can't figure it out. For whatever reason, when he tries to attack, he makes like a beep sound, you know, like an error sound. Oh yeah, that attack animation does not really make sense with a spear. I'm not sure, but like it would have been nice if she would point the spear downwards. Maybe there is a way, but I don't know of it. And yeah, expect Severa to miss a lot. Her hit rate is sort of terrible, but that's the point. And if you kill, sorry about that. If you kill a monster or an opponent, you get to see their life bars. So yeah, all we need to do is kill them once. But in the a little later in the game, Nicholas will learn a skill that can, you know, basically a library. It will tell you their stats and will actually show the bar without killing them. So it's useful for bosses that you only fight once, obviously, and giving you a reason to actually do it, to, like, you know, to know their weaknesses or their resistances, and maybe other things, like if I can implement something like that using the plugin, like maybe what they drop or something like that. I'm gonna have, like I said before, I changed the resolution recently. Ooh, they dropped a silver ring, nice. Does not have a very high drop rate, but it does not have a low drop rate either. So yeah, I changed the screen resolution like recently. I figured, why not? I mean, we can do it using the Anfly Battle Core engine. Core engine. So I made it bigger because I figured it would be more interesting. Like, you know, I can have more enemies on the field and a little spaced out, or I can have those big enemies without them covering the entire screen. Now the slimes here are a bit irritating to kill at the beginning of the game, because they actually, well, very slightly anyway, they resist physical attacks. Oh yeah, ignore that one. I have no idea what just happened here. Okay, that's new. I don't have a clue what I broke right there. But yeah, Yanflyer released his gap window, and I was trying to make testing it out. You know, like when you make different. Basically, when you cast a spell, they will say something out of a pool of things to make the spell more interesting. So I just wrote 2 different things there, which is extremely stupid. So just disregard them. I'm gonna save after this, since it's been 35 minutes. I'm going to save and fix the healing thing. I have no idea what it had. I think maybe... Yeah, I added the percentage heal thing very recently, and I did not have a chance to test it. And by very recently I mean like 2 days ago. So I'll do that, just that. And okay, so I just got 1 drop here. Anyway, I'll fix this fast and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this did not irritate you, especially my bad English pronunciation at the moment. Anyway, see you soon, hopefully.